Welcome in, and what is today? Thursday? I don't know. They're all running into each other. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. It is another edition of the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by uwager.eu. It is where America bets. It's sure as shit where this show bets. And I hope your week has gone swimmingly. I hope it's been a profitable week, but in a quest for us to continue bringing you the knowledge and introducing you to some of the best and some of the smartest, some of the most dedicated, some of the most transparent sports handicappers from around the country. I am really excited to introduce you guys to today's guest, Eric. Eric is from betteriq.com, and I was fortunate enough and lucky enough to come across these guys. And I had reached out to them, and I've had a chance now to be able to talk to them a few times. And Eric is going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. But you guys, it's not going to take you long to see exactly what I had seen right off the bat. Is that when it comes to knowledge, there is not going to be any more. When there comes to transparency, not going to be any more. And just a whole lot of valuable information that will help you be a more profitable sports investor. That's what they bring to the table at betteriq.com, and I can't wait for you guys to be able to meet him, and excited. He's going to join us in just a couple of minutes. Trendybets.com, what can I say about them, guys? They did it again last night. They delivered on their NBA free play of the day, a gaudy 22-6 now over the last 5 weeks. They are 10-2? 10-2 now over the last 2.5 weeks. Unbelievable run that they have been on. They have another free NBA play of the day coming your way, not to mention, because things have been going so swimmingly there, what I haven't told you guys is how good they have been in college hoops as well. So they were nice enough to send over a college free play of the day. So we will give you that. You know that's coming up here right around 4:45. Also, I want to give you an update what's happening on the new morning show, Make It Rain, on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network, heard around the country. Guys, we got a lot of cool things happening there. Big announcement came down today that partnering up with Elvis Duran and his company. So Top 40 Music Radio will never be the same again. In fact, there might very well be an awful lot of, I don't know, sports betting talk coming to Top 40 Radio around the country. We'll have more details for that coming up, but needless to say, there's a lot of great things happening here, not only on the Joe Raineri Show with you guys, but also on the new morning show, Make It Rain, Fantasy Sports Radio Network. Certainly hope that you guys will join us. No new news really in the betting market as far as the big game February 3rd. Still hovering a lot of places. Last I checked, 2.5. The Patriots, awful lot of money. That's just that continues to come in. It does look like it could very well be one of the most lopsided, from a betting perspective, Super Bowls that we have ever seen. There is just gaudy numbers coming in right now for the New England Patriots on that side of the bet. So I do think there will be some Rams buyback at some point during the next few days, maybe even over the weekend. But right now, it's all Patriots all day. So there is a little exposure going on there for the sports books. But I do think that maybe that number will come down a little bit. A lot of people holding on and waiting for that -3. It was only there for about 17 or 18 minutes. South Point, I believe, in Vegas was the only one that had the cojones enough to be able to throw a -3 up there, and that only lasted 17 minutes. So I don't know if we'll get there again, but I do anticipate that we are going to see a lot of Rams money over the next few days. But we'll talk to Eric Waz there, betteriq.com. You guys are going to meet him, and I'm telling you, he's also got, from what I understand, he's got a huge play tonight in college hoops, one that he is a big fan of, one that he thinks might just be one of the bigger bets so far this year for him. I can't wait to hear what it is. I can't wait to share that with you guys, and I also can't wait to hear the reasoning behind why he likes it so much. So a lot to get to here today. A lot of it's all about making you a smarter sports investor, right? And we do that with knowledge. And the best way I know how to do that is to continue to go out and find and present to you and give you guys the opportunity to meet some of the best handicappers from around the country. And you guys are going to be thoroughly impressed with betteriq.com and Eric. So looking forward to that. I do want to, of course, thank our good friends over at Miami Acura for making us a part of their family. I mean, we're all family here, especially when you have to go car shopping, because nobody does it better than Miami Acura. Certainly from a price standpoint, if you are in the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, Only one place to go, guys. MiamiAcura.com. Or if you're into 305, stop by and see them. South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay. They just completely redid the showroom. It's ridiculous. It looks like a palace right now. And maybe the best way to celebrate that is the reason why their prices are kind of second to none right now, including the all-new 2019 RDX. Not to mention it drives itself. Maybe the best part about that car is the price right now. Certified pre-owned vehicles, used cars, whatever it may be, make sure you shop everywhere else, but end up at MiamiAcura.com, because I'm telling you guys, the deals are absolutely crazy. MiamiAcura.com. Get there today. TrendyBets.com. We got a free NBA Play of the Day, and we got a free college basketball bet of the day. That is coming up here in about 45 minutes. But first, let's get our man, Eric Waz from Better IQ on the line. Let's do it. Hey guys, happy Thursday, and real excited here today because you know what we do here on the Joe Raineri Show. We try to introduce you to as many of the best professional sports handicappers from around the country. We always say knowledge is power here on the show, and we've got truly one of the best that you're going to hear from today. Please welcome in Eric Waz, Better IQ, better known as Waz. He joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. And Waz, I thank you so very much for taking the time and hanging out with us here today.
Thanks for having me, Joe. I'm excited to be here and excited to talk a little sports betting today.
All right, let's start from the very beginning. Those that may not know, give us that elevator pitch here. Give us a little bit about your background, how long you've been capping, and what you've been doing.
Yeah, so I'm a former CPA. I was an accountant for about 10 years, and in 2010, I decided to quit the corporate world, move out to Las Vegas to follow my dream as a sports bettor, and I've been living there ever since. So about 9 years here in Las Vegas as a professional, and it's been great ever since. I love Las Vegas. I love the lifestyle and everything that goes along with it.
Now, how did Better IQ come about? How did you put this together, this group?
Yeah, so Better IQ is basically a collection of 6 guys, all guys who bet for a living. You know, they pay their bills with gambling income. Guys I know pretty well throughout the years. You know, we just decided about 6 months ago, why don't we leverage our knowledge a little bit? You know, obviously the space is growing here with the legalization of sports betting nationwide. We're in 8 states now, probably going to be in 20 to 25 here in the next, 3-4 years. So we thought, let's pass on some of that knowledge, just leverage that knowledge. So we decided to get together, launch the site. We did that back in August. It's been great ever since. We've got a lot of great feedback. The results have been tremendous. But basically, yeah, we have articles there for people to consume. We do a daily podcast every day, Monday through Friday, about a half-an-hour podcast, and we cover, break down games, we go through handicapping theory, just kind of go through our techniques and what's kind of made us successful over the years. And then we also, sell selections as well for people that, don't want to do it themselves, don't really want to learn. They say, hey, we get it. You're the experts, you're the pros. All right, just give me your games. What do you like? And we offer that as well.
Yeah, I got your site up here on the screen for the viewers to take a look at. I love it because it's very clean. It's very easy to get through. Everything is right in front of you. You've got the list of cappers. You got that you can buy the picks. You got a recap. Talk to us a little bit about the articles here, because you do have some great information in these articles.
Yeah, so we try to let the clients see through our eyes, like how we handicap games. So, I do a lot of data work, and I wrote a piece this week about how the new net ranking system in college basketball that the committee is going to use to make the selections for the tournament.
That nobody understands.
Margin of victories that nobody understands. That still, people are trying to figure it out for sure. But we do know, one thing we do understand is that margin of victory is way more important than it used to be. Before, it was just about wins and losses, who you beat, who you didn't. And I had a theory that, this season coaches might want to put their foot on the gas pedal a little bit in the second half when they had big leads, knowing that margin of victory plays into the formula it might impact their seed. It might impact them getting into a tournament at all. So I did a lot of data work, did some research, dug into the numbers, and basically in the article I spit out, everything that I found. And to be honest, I didn't find as much as I thought. To be honest, coaches aren't really playing that much differently, especially in the second halves. I do think it's because year one, though. Year one, you get a lot of people still learning the system, what matters, what doesn't. And I have a feeling when we get to the bubble watch late there in March, when the teams are being selected, some teams that get snubbed or barely make it in, you're going to hear a lot about margin of victory and things of that nature. So I think it may be a bigger factor down the road, but so far, not much there. But those are the kind of things we like to put in the articles. We go a little deeper than the surface level, just writing about games and previews like a lot of the other companies in the space do. We try to really dig in a couple layers deeper on the site. So we like pushing that knowledge out there and kind of educating the market a little bit.
Yeah, it is great, and the site, again, right up on the screen for you, BettorIQ, BettorIQ.com is where you guys can go. You can also reach Eric Waz. We call him Waz here on the show, so I'm not going to – you told me your wife doesn't even call you Eric, so I'm just going to call you Waz, man, all right? So it's
that's what I go by.
That's it. Waz BettorIQ on Twitter. Make sure you guys are tailing him there. What would be your advice to somebody just starting out in sports betting, sports handicapping? Because you and I, we've talked about this off air a little bit, how now that the emergence of so many of these states that are legalizing gambling and sports books are going to pop up, one of the other things, and we know this on the show, is that everybody becomes a sports handicapper. There is a lot of noise out there, but there is, a significant portion of the folks that are just starting out. And what would be your advice to those who are looking to get into handicapping and maybe start with the whole sports investing process?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is finding somebody that you can kind of cling to that is very successful at sports betting. And maybe you don't have anybody in your immediate inner circle as a friend or colleague, but, a site like ours, other sites out there where you can learn from guys who do this at a high level, through reading articles, listening to podcasts or whatnot. Just try to gain as much information as you can, because you don't really understand until you fully get into it. There's so much you don't know. You think you've watched sports your whole life. I know how this works. I know what point spreads are and odds. It sounds so easy. All you got to do is kind of measure each team and see if my difference in my assessment of the teams are bigger or less than what the betting markets think. It's not that simple, though. There's so much more to learn. So I really think, finding somebody you can learn from, at least a couple of people. Everybody talks about bankroll management. Obviously, that's a big one. I don't want to go into details with that, but you can't bet over your head. Most people starting out have a smaller bankroll. And to be honest, if you have a smaller bankroll and you're trying to build it up quickly, the quickest way to do it is probably focus on more of the smaller markets. So focus on props, focus on some of the lesser followed sports. I made a ton of money my first couple of years in Vegas betting WNBA because nobody followed the WNBA. The lines makers would put out lines that were 5, 6, 7, 8 points off sometimes, and you couldn't get as much down as you needed to, which is why I don't bet anymore. But
I heard about that guy. No, wait a minute. I heard there was one guy, but you were that guy betting WNBA. I love it.
It was great because Joe, it was, the limits were small, and that's why, because they knew there had a liability there because they didn't have the information. But if there was an injury in WNBA and a key player was out for a team that maybe was worth 4 or 5 points to the line, it wouldn't move any. Yeah. The line would still be what it would have been, without the injury. So it was very easy to take those edges and apply them. Like I said, couldn't get a ton of money down, but when you're starting out and you have a smaller bankroll, you don't worry about betting limits anymore. So find those smaller markets, props. We got the Super Bowl coming up. You can find a lot of great opportunities there with props. So those are the markets that are a little lesser followed, that are, don't get the coverage, and you see more mistake lines. At the end of the day, as a sports bettors, we're looking for mistakes in the market. So the most mistakes are made in the smaller markets, and even in college basketball, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. College basketball, focus on the smaller conferences because those are where the lines are weakest. Yeah. Don't look at the Big 10, the Big 12, ACC. Look at the conferences where nobody's following those teams. Injuries don't get reported as frequently. There's just information out there, which is hard to find. Don't get me wrong, but when you find it, it's like gold.
Yeah, well, the whole point is finding an edge. In sports investing, it's about locating that edge. Not every game, not every conference has it, but they're out there, and the more research you do, or better, the more people that you have in your corner working for you, guys like Waz here at betteriq.com, these are the guys that have the time to put in the 40, 50, 60 hours. They know what to look for. While you, are just starting out, you want to get involved. Like you want to start sports investing, you want to put your money and have some fun with it, but you're not going to spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week going ahead and breaking down the analytics. That's why you need guys like BetterIQ here at Waz, betteriq.com. And there's a lot going on over the next couple of weeks here, Waz. I mean, let's face it, it's a hell of a time of year for sports handicappers, and for those that are looking to dive in here a little bit. You've got the Super Bowl coming up, you got prop bets, you got golf starting, Tiger Woods started today. There's a lot of different places to go. Where would you point somebody and go, you know what, the smaller markets are great, but concentrate on the money lines, concentrate on the spreads, concentrate on the overs? Where do you think the best value is right now across the board here?
Well, college basketball is obviously, in season right now. We're kind of right in the middle of the season. Conference play started a couple of weeks ago. I think college basketball totals are a great spot to navigate towards, because college totals are very formulaic. They're just formula driven, and a lot of those numbers just come straight from Ken Pom. There's no thought being put into them by lines makers. So if you're going to attack a market this time of year, you can really find some big value in totals in college basketball, and in the smaller conferences especially. We'll talk about a game here in a minute. Because, again, those lines are weakest. The limits are smaller. And anytime you see a smaller limit, that should be an indication to you that there's value to be had there. There's a reason why they're not letting you bet a bunch of money there. But if you have enough outs and you can spread it around a little bit to get down, I'm in Las Vegas, so I have the luxury of having 12 independent books in Las Vegas that I can all bet from with my phone, or I can go in person if I want to make a bigger bet. I've got other outs at my disposal as well. So I can usually find better numbers on games. That's another thing I didn't mention before is line shopping is huge. I'm sure you've talked about it before on your show, Joe. Getting the best number, an extra half point here, extra half point there, it adds up. Not every game is going to land on a number, but about 4 or 5% of them do, and that adds up over the course of a season, the course of a calendar year. So getting an extra half point, an extra 5 cents on a money line. But I really think college basketball totals is a great place to attack right now, and you really have to do your homework. And if you only have a limited amount of time, which I'm sure most listeners don't have 50, 60 hours a week to put into this, just take like a couple conferences. Just take maybe 2, 3 conferences. Focus on those, study hard on those, and you'll really find some nuggets there that have value. And then lean on some other people to help you out, some advisors like us at BetterIQ or elsewhere, where you can learn from them while you're doing that. Kind of compare your opinions to theirs, and over time it'll start making more sense, and you'll find that edge. Because at the end of the day, it's all about edge. If you don't have an edge, there's no reason to place a bet unless you're doing it for fun, recreation. You're willing to lose money and be okay with it. You have to have an edge, and your edge is going to show itself over the course of a long period of time. It might take months. It might take a full year till you see your edge really take hold and the law of large numbers to take over.
Sure.
But you've got to find something you can hang your hat on. And if you can't explain your edge to somebody, in a matter of 60 seconds, then you probably don't have one.
Yeah,
it's as easy as that.
Exactly correct. He is Waz, betteriq.com. That is the site. We are committed to searching and finding guys, the best sports handicappers from around the country, the most well-rounded guys that are across not just one sport, but guys that can do it across multiple platforms, as well as transparency. And we talk about that a lot here on the show. Waz, about being able to. It's one thing to say, yeah, I'm a 90% winner over the last 3 weeks. I only bet 4 games, but I won 90% of them. Transparency is so important in this business, and for somebody who is looking to invest their money, invest their time, and put their trust in a service like BetterIQ.com. Talk to us about your transparency here with the group, and how people can go and say, listen, you want to know what? Here's who we are. Here's what we are.
Yeah, I mean, transparency is paramount, I think, to to being a successful company. If you're going to sell selections and advice, people need to know what advice you gave out. And we put all of our plays out there on our recap page. So you want to see what happened last night, go to recap page this morning. It'll be out there, all of our games. We had a huge night last night for Better IQ. I think we went 10-2 overall. It's been a nice run. A few handicappers are really hitting their stride right now. So all the results are there. You can go back and look at all our games, and if you want to keep a tally and a running count of how everybody's doing, it's you can easily do it. There's a lot of sites out there that don't do that, and you kind of scratch your head like, why would you not put out the games out there for everybody to see? So we do that. We've done that since day one. All of our guys believe in transparency, and we're not hiding anything. All of our guys are winners. I mean, like I said before, we all do this for a living. So if we're not winning, we're not paying our own bills. So we have that. We have that, obviously, that pressure to win, and we got to make it happen. So you're aligning yourselves with true professionals with us. So yeah, I'm a huge believer in transparency, and unfortunately, in our industry, you only see a handful of sites that really do it the right way out there.
Yeah, exactly. Talk is cheap. The proof is in the numbers, and you can get it betteriq.com. That's where you guys got to go check it out. And we, not only do we talk about having multiple books here on the show so you can line shop, you need to have a few places in your corner that you can trust and know that the information you're going to get is going to be valuable information, where the time, the effort, the sweat, the tears is being poured into it. And these guys at Better IQ fit every one of those boxes. Now, with the big game coming up just another week or so away here, what is your viewpoint of where we are with the spread and what has happened with the public money right now? It opened up the Rams -1, and here we are hovering around -2.5 for the Patriots. There are an awful lot of rumors that the Sharps are sitting on the sideline hoping it goes to 3, and once it does, we'll get some buyback. So what do you think right now with the line spread, and both with the not only the spread but the over-under with this game between the Patriots and the Rams coming up?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely those aren't rumors, Joe. Those are real. I mean, there's people out there that I know I've talked to that are waiting for that 3 to come. It came briefly for the Rams at South Point. I think had it for about 17, 18 minutes. They had it up the other day where it hit 3 and it got taken out by Sharps. But there's a lot of Sharp guys on the sidelines waiting to grab Rams +3 because, the Rams are the higher power-rated team all season long, higher than the Patriots. They played in the tougher NFC, tougher schedule. Now you can argue there's a big coaching edge and experience edge for Bill Belichick. You really, you can't dispute that. But I understand the public money coming in on the Patriots. You've seen a lot of Tom Brady doing his videos lately and kind of getting pumped up, and I'm not too old, I can still do this, and people kind of jumping on that narrative there. So I'm not too surprised, but it has been an avalanche of money. I mean, I think I heard something like 79% of the bets are coming in on New England right now, and that's going to set a record, I think, for the most lopsided handle if it stays in that direction, which I'm sure it'll start to change here in the second week of betting next week when some of the sharps get involved. But really, to be honest, Joe, really the money to be made in the Super Bowl is not really in the spread or the total usually. It's usually in those props. Yeah. And I know in Vegas there's thousands of them, and I'm not over-exaggerating. And you go between all the books that are out there, the dozen different independent properties. You go to Westgate, there's a packet. I want to say it's at least 15, 20 pages, maybe longer than that. Small print, there's, they have alone probably have over 1,000 props. So there's so many opportunities to get involved. That's where you can make your money. There's no way they can accurately put a number on every single player for yardage, for touchdowns, for odds to, longest kick, longest touchdown, all those things that come into play. They don't have enough time in their days to make an accurate number on every single one of those. So you'll definitely find value in those. I used to hit those really hard back when I first moved here. The first, I'd say 2-3 years I was out here. I probably had dozens of Super Bowl prop bets. Did fairly well. It is a ton of work. It's a ton of running around town here in Vegas. It's a little bit easier now with the apps, but they only let you bet a certain amount in the app, not what you can get at the window. So I've got away from it a little bit, but I'll have at least 10, 15 props in my pocket come the time of the Super Bowl. I don't think I'll have a bet on the side. I might have a bet on the total. I'm still kind of researching and digging in. I know it's just taking money to the under a little bit, which makes sense. I think it came out a little high. But if you really want to make some money, I mean, look at the props. I think the Todd Gurley prop is interesting with him because
you don't know.
What do you do with him, right?
Exactly.
I mean, he had 4 carries.
Yep.
Yep. 4 carries in the last game, and he says he's not hurt. I don't know if I believe him or not, but they're saying he's not hurt. Maybe he's getting disciplined, or maybe they just feel that C.J. Anderson's a better running back right now. And obviously, he's not a better running back, period, because Gurley is one of the best players in the NFL. But is Gurley going to get 15 or 20 carries in the Super Bowl like people expect, or is he going to get 4 carries again? Yeah. So how do you make a number on the yardage, on the touchdown props? That's very, very difficult. So I think if you pay attention to that situation, you might find a couple of good bets there with maybe going under on some of the Gurley props.
Finding value. That's what it is always about. Finding those holes in the system when nobody is looking, and that's why it's important to have guys like Waz, betteriq.com in your corner. I would encourage you guys, once we're done here, go check out the website. Read up. I mean, it's an amazing website. All sorts of great free information, transparency. You'll have an opportunity. You're meeting Waz here today, but the roster of handicappers there, all great guys, all established guys, know what they're doing, do this for a living. So we certainly encourage you guys to go there. Knowledge is power. Now, talking about knowledge, let's talk about college basketball in tonight. You had mentioned there's some value there in the totals. There's also some value in concentrating maybe on the lesser-known conferences, not the ACC, not the Big Ten. So talk to us about a game tonight, college basketball, that you actually like, Waz, that you're looking at.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Southern Conference here. Not many people know, but most people couldn't name you the teams in the Southern Conference here. But it's one of the conferences I like a lot because there's a lot of good contrasting styles of play in that conference. We have a great matchup tonight with 2 teams with very contrasting styles. So the Citadel is playing at UNC Greensboro, and the Citadel, for people who don't know, plays a very fast style of basketball. They're the 4th highest pace in the country. Duger Balcom, the coach, has been his whole career. He's been a go coach. As many possessions as we can get. We're going to try to outrun you, out-athlete you. And he's done really well with that as far as, scoring points. He gives up a ton of points as well, and the teams have been kind of so-so, but they want to push the tempo. On the other side of the ledger, you have UNC Greensboro. They play an interesting 1-2-2 full-court press. They try to slow you down. They play zone once we get into the half court. They try to limit possession. So it's very much the antithesis of the Citadel. So whenever you get those kind of matchups, you kind of wonder, how is the game going to play out? Is Citadel going to get their way and be able to play fast? Is UNC Greensboro going to get their way and be able to muck it up and play slow and grind it out? And usually in these cases, not always, usually the home team tends to get their way if they're the better team. In this case, definitely UNC Greensboro is the better team. They're at home here. And if you look at the past history of these teams in recent years, they've been able to slow the pace down when these 2 teams play. And I think over the last 3 years, 67% of games at UNC Greensboro have gone under the total. So when they're at home, they definitely can dictate that pace. And I think we'll see a much slower game. The total on this one's about 168 right now in most books. I think this one's off by at least 11 or 12 points, which is ridiculous at this point in the season to be that far off. I usually get giddy if I find something 4 or 5, maybe 6 points off, which I rarely do. But
damn, dude.
This is huge. It's 11 points off what I made it. It's one of my bigger bets of the season. I love it for so many reasons, and it's the biggest reason of all. Like I said, it's just that clash of styles. I mean, I don't think Citadel is going to get this up into like 80-plus possessions. I think we're going to see more like 70, 71 possessions. And if that's the case, there's almost no way you can get over the total with that many possessions unless they shoot absolutely lights out from three-point land, or if the game goes into overtime or double overtime where you get an extra 5-10 minutes of play. Obviously, in that scenario, anything could happen. It could go over. But I really think I'd be surprised. If you look at Citadel's last couple of games, they've been playing fast all year. They've actually been getting up a ton of points. They had a stretch where they get 100 points plus 3 games in a row.
Damn. Then
it came down to 98, then 94. So a ton of points get up against them. They decided to start playing a little bit slower after that. The last 2 games, they've gone down in possessions to 68 and 71. They only gave up 80 and 73 in those 2 games. So I think they might be saying, hey, You got to play a little bit of defense, guys. So, the trend looks right from that perspective. And like I said, the matchup perspective looks amazing.
All
so
right.
I like the under there.
We're going under in the Citadel UNC Greensboro, not UNC Greensboro Citadel, the Southern. You just learned a little something, didn't you? That's exactly what we're talking about. You guys didn't even know where Citadel was or who they played. Now you know. And also take the under tonight. He is Waz, betteriq.com. That is where you guys got to go. Check him out. Not just Waz. How many cappers do you have on roster there, Waz?
Just 6. We like to keep the team relatively small. We're not one of those sites that goes out and tries to get 20, 30 guys on the site and, try to saturate the site. We keep the site clean, like you mentioned, simple, easy to use. Just 6 guys. We're all winners. We all do this for a living. And, I encourage you to come check it out. If anything, we have free plays out there if you want to check out the free plays for a while and see how those are going. They've had a great run here of late. Like I said, the articles, the podcast, there's just a lot to check out. So I encourage you to check out Better IQ.
How easy is it to be able to get signed on with you? Like, walk us through it here. Do you deliver them picks email? Do you have packages across the board? How does it work with that?
Yeah, step 1 is just come to the site. There's a sign-up button on the top right-hand corner. You sign up. You immediately get put onto our newsletter list. And a newsletter you get every single day, Monday through Friday. It has all of our free picks in it. It has links to our podcast. It has links to some of the articles we've written recently. We have promotional specials in there. You'll see in the newsletter. So everything kind of what's going on our site is in that newsletter. That's what you want every day. That's where our free picks are at. So if you want to get free picks, just check us out for a while and kind of see what kind of articles we're writing and take a look at the podcast. Get that newsletter. Sign up for it. It's absolutely free. You'll be put on a list right away and start getting emails within a day or two. And that's kind of the best entryway to kind of learn about us. Nobody's going to come to our site the first day and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to spend $500 and buy this guy's picks. We want you to learn about us. We want you to listen to the podcast, read the articles. We want to be able to prove it to you that we have that knowledge base, that we're not just some scam site out there like there are all over the place in our industry. Take some time and do your homework, because I think you'll like what you find out. And you can see which guys you like, what styles. We all have different styles. That's the one nice thing about our site is it's a good blend of different types. Some guys focus on only totals. Some guys only do smaller sports. Some guys, do heavy volume or only sides. So it's kind of a mixture of ways of thinking, and we kind of stick to what we're good at. We're not trying to have every guy do every single sport. There's a lot of sites out there that every guy on the site's handicapping 6-7 sports, and I don't know how people do that. To be how are you successful selling 7 different sports? It's not possible. Right. It's just not. You got to stick to your strengths, and that's what we do.
Yep. So I can't even. You're making me laugh because we see it all the time on social media. It's like NHL, soccer, tennis. We're giving you NBA. It's like, stop it. Just please stop it. I can't. BetterIQ.com is where to go. One more question before I let you go here. And if you guys are just joining us once again, this is Waz. He is the creator of BetterIQ.com. Certainly a site we recommend. You guys know if I'm bringing them on here, these guys are the real deal. They're full of great information. They're transparent. They're reliable. They put in the work, and the proof is in the numbers. And these guys have been absolutely fantastic. So definitely encourage you guys. BetterIQ.com. You talked about the totals there in college hoops. I'm wondering, have you seen more value because of all the variance that can happen in the second half of a college game? Do you find more value maybe in the first half betting versus the second half? I mean, the second half, you did get a chance to get some data and see with your own eyes, but we all know in second half of college hoops, so very difficult to be able to determine what's going to happen. You find more value in the first half totals or in the second half?
That's a good question, Joe. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't bet a lot of first halves because the limits are smaller. It's hard to get down. If I start betting, I'm moving the numbers too much. I can't get it down. So I stick to full games for the most part. However, I will say with the first halves, you get a lot less variance, right? I mean, you don't get that fouling at the end like you get in the second half. You don't get somebody behind by 20 points. They're starting to play faster. It's more of a clean 20 minutes, it plays out like it should. Now, there's still a lot of games when you bet first halves that come down to the last possession or two.
Right.
because you're dealing with a lot less time. You know, when you get the full 40 minutes in college basketball, luck tends to even out a little bit over the course of 2 halves. But in 1 half, maybe it doesn't. So I like it for a lot of reasons. I do like the first halves probably a little bit better from that standpoint, especially for unders, because you see so many unders go up in flames because you have the following at the end, and you have overtime, right?
Yep.
You can't have overtime in the first half. So I do like the first half unders a little better than the full game unders, but again, it's tougher to get down for me, and it's not easy for everybody else who's maybe a smaller better and, you know, a smaller bankroll wise. I think first halves are probably a good way to build up your bankroll and get going. Like I said, there's less variance, and I think you get truer results with the first halves than you do with the games.
Great stuff. He is Waz, betteriq.com. Make sure you guys reach out to him. Also, tail him on Twitter, at WazBetterIQ. Do yourself a favor, guys. Go check out the website. Tail Waz over here. I really enjoyed this, my friend. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out and hanging out with us and spreading the knowledge here. Some great stuff, and I hope you'll come back and join us again, man. This was great.
Definitely, Joe. I'll definitely do it again, and I had a great time, so thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. He is Eric Waz, betteriq.com. Get there today. Want to thank Eric so very much, man. That was awesome stuff. Love that. Love that. It's all about knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? And that's what we do here, is we try to present to you and introduce you to some very smart individuals, some guys that have been doing this for a long time, guys that have the track record, guys that put in the work. The success is there. These are the guys that you want to go ahead and align yourself with, and these are the folks here, especially if you go to the website, Better IQ, you'll see exactly what we're talking about there. These guys are the real deal, and it was a pleasure getting to talk to Eric there. I hope you guys were writing some notes down, taking it down. I hope you heard what he had to say with the Citadel UNC Greensboro game tonight under, and let's cash some tickets. It's all about being a more profitable sports investor, and it starts with understanding who you're going to align yourself with and understanding exactly what you're doing. There's a lot of ways to go about this, and even like Eric said there, not every one of the 6 cappers with him goes about it the same way. They all do a little something different, and your job as a sports investor is to figure out who you align the best with. But there's no doubt that these are the guys that put in the 50, 60 hours a week. You don't have the time. I don't have the time, guys. I mean, you got a life. You want to be a smart sports investor. You want to be more profitable this year, but you don't have 50, 60 hours to invest in doing all the research and busting down the conferences and the analytics. That's what these guys are for, and that's what we do here on the show, is introduce you to a whole lot of different folks who are doing this for a living and are successful. So head over to betteriq.com and get ready. Talking about successful, has there been anybody more successful for all of us than trendybets.com? 22-6 over the last 5 weeks, 10-2 now over the last 2.5 weeks. We've got another NBA free play of the day coming up. So excited about that. And we have the college play too, right? We've got your college play as well. They have been so successful not only in the NBA this year, but trendybets.com is just bringing it in the college game. What a night they had last night. So they were nice enough to send over not only a free play in the NBA, but they gave us a free play for you guys in college as well. So do yourself a favor, trendybets.com. That is where you guys got to go. We're going to deliver both of those free plays for you coming up here in just a minute. First, of course, we've got to remind you, you heard what Eric was saying about line shopping, right? And you guys know we talk about it here all the time. You cannot get stuck and get screwed by the hook because it's the only option you have, okay? The whole point of line shopping is to give yourself the best chance to be profitable. So you got to have multiple books. And you know how much we appreciate and how much we recommend YAHOO here, because that's where we go. We certainly, they are definitely one of our accounts. And the reason we like them is because the pricing often tremendous. The customer service is second to none. And the ease of transaction, meaning being able to put money in and being able to pull money out, you don't have to give up, your firstborn child or need an act of God in order for it to happen. These guys are great. And right now, they got all sorts of great things happening for the Super Bowl. But do yourself a favor. First things first, 1-800-UWAGER. 1-800-UWAGER. Call them up and you give them the code. Say, I'm with the Joe Raineri Show, JRS50. All right? They'll drop in, I believe, even more now than the 50%. I believe they have a 53% bonus getting ready to go right now through the Super Bowl. You can take advantage of that, but you got to call them. It's 1-800-UWAGER. That's 1-800-UWAGER, and give them the code JRS50, and they'll go ahead, take care of you, get you all set up, give you your bonus money, your bonus deposit, and really, guys, when it comes to line shopping, you're going to find yourself more often than not probably laying the wager with them due to their very aggressive pricing. And to me, the customer service is just second to none. So do yourself a favor. Give uwager.eu. Open up an account today. 1-800-UWAGER. Use the code JRS50 and make sure that you guys have them at your disposal, because that's what it takes to be a profitable long-term sports investor, having the options and the ability to go line shopping. And it starts by having the right sports books. uwager.eu, 1-800-UWAGER. Use the code JRS50. All right, coming up here in exactly 90 seconds, we'll go ahead and get you all squared away with our TrendyBets.com NBA Play of the Day and the College Play of the Day. That's coming up. Don't go nowhere.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest-rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. That's 800-901-5536.
Happy Thursday. Welcome back in. It is the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by uwager.eu. Do not forget, guys, tomorrow, the legend himself, Mr. Joe D'Amico, he'll be crashing the boards with us, getting you ready for a full slate of NBA games tomorrow night, and might have a tip or two for you when it comes to the prop bets. We'll also check in with him, get the latest information from the sports books around Las Vegas as to what we are hearing and what we are seeing as far as the money coming in on the Patriots and the Rams. Joe D'Amico joins us Friday like he does each and every week. Can't wait to talk to him, but you guys don't have to wait, as you can see. You can call him here one of two ways, 1-800-563-8854, get his free winner for tonight, or go ahead, go big or go home, 1-855-563-8854. No need for you to wait to hear his favorite plays tomorrow. You can get him tonight. Call Joe today, 855-563-8854. 8854. All right, so we're going to check in with our good friends from TrendyBets.com, and the reason we are is because they've just been straight fire with us. Delivered again last night in the Boston Celtics game, gave us the over, gave you the over, cashed that ticket. 22-6 now over the last 5 weeks, 10-2 now over the last 2.5 weeks. They are just bringing it, guys. I don't know what else to say outside of the fact that you need to get to TrendyBets.com and check out the website. You can use the code NBA50. They'll give you 50% off any one of their premium NBA packages. I don't know what, 22-5 on the free picks, guys. 22-6 on the free picks. What do you think they got delivering for their clients here right now? Not to mention college hoops. They were on fire last night, delivered again, 3 out of 4, I believe they were last night. Their record is crazy, over 60% on the free plays alone over the last 2 months, and they just keep giving us winners and giving you winners and giving you winners. And those of you that have been tailing the show, those of you that have been tailing Trendy Bets, you know exactly what I mean. Over the last month, how you guys have banked, have absolutely banked. So let's keep it going here tonight, because I have no doubt that we'll be doing the same conversation again tomorrow. We've got your TrendyBets.com free play of the day in the NBA, and let's check it out. They're going, what else? Warriors, Wizards, Golden State laying 10. The over, I think, somewhere around 235. Here's what we know from TrendyBets.com. The over is 5-1 in the Warriors' last 6 road games. The over is 13-3 in the Warriors' last 16 games, following a straight-up win of more than 10. The over is also 9-4 in the Wizards' last 13 games versus a team with a winning percentage above 600. And the over, 5-2 in the last 7 meetings in Washington. So your free NBA play tonight. The over, 235, Warriors, Wizards, Golden State. Take the over, take the points. Expect them to continue to score over and over and over again. And that is your free NBA play of the day, courtesy of TrendyBets.com. Make sure you guys head over to TrendyBets.com today. Use the code NBA50 and get yourself a 50% discount on any of their NBA packages, their premium packages. But we are not done with them. I don't think we are done with them anyway, because they were nice enough to send over a college basketball pick for us tonight. Things have been going just as well in college for them, so let's see what they got tonight. A little double dose here on a Thursday. We're looking Tulsa at Cincinnati. Cincinnati laying 13.5, total 135.5. Here's what we know. The over is 4-0 in Tulsa's last 4 versus a team with a winning straight-up record. The over, 26-9-1 in Cincinnati's last 36 home games versus a team with a losing road record. The over, 5-1 in the Bearcats' last 6 overall. And finally, the over, 4-0 in the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Your TrendyBets.com free college basketball play of the day. They're going over 135.5 tonight. That's over 135.5 tonight. How do you like that? You just can't go wrong with TrendyBets.com. 22-6 over the last 5 weeks, not to mention 10-2 over the last 2.5 weeks. You guys have been banking. I know you've been making the money. And if you are just joining us for the first time, the numbers speak for themselves. Tulsa, Cincinnati, over 135.5 tonight. That is your TrendyBets.com free college basketball play of the day. So do yourself a favor, guys. At the very least, make sure you are tailing our friends at Trendy Bets on Twitter, at Trendy Bets. But you can't go wrong. The over in the Golden State game tonight, 235. The over in the Tulsa-Cincinnati game in college, 135.5. And make it rain here, people. That's what it's all about. That's what Trendy Bets does. That's what we try to do here on the Joe Raineri Show, is we try to make it rain for you each and every day. We try to provide the knowledge and the cappers to you that can help you be more profitable, especially in 2019. And it starts by tailing and following the right guys. So I want to thank Eric for stopping by today, betteriq.com. Make sure Head over there, guys. Plenty of free picks. You heard him there. You want to ease into it, and hopefully we'll get Eric back here on the show, and you'll be able to get him. You'll know him more and more and more. But I think if you notice what I noticed, that straight up knows what's going on over there. Gave you a huge pick tonight, one of the bigger bets of the year, he said, for him. The Citadel and the UNC Greensboro going at it tonight in the Southern Conference, which many of you probably didn't even know there was a Southern Conference. But he likes the under in that. The under up to 165, 166, somewhere along those lines. The under tonight in the Citadel UNC Greensboro. See, that is the kind of information that we deliver here on the Joe Raineri Show, and we hope you guys are having a good time with it. And the only thing that we ask is that you go ahead and share these videos, like these videos, interact with us. The more you interact, the better chance we have of reaching more people, getting this content in front of others, helping them become a more profitable sports investor as well. Knowledge is power, guys. That's what you're going to get here day in and day out. That is my promise to you. That is what we do. We will find the guys. We will bring them to you. You'll get to hear from them yourself. You'll either agree with them or you will disagree with them. But either way, at the end of it all, you will be a smarter sports investor just by listening and hearing exactly what it is they got to say and why they go about why they do and do what they do. So head over to betteriq.com today. Check out Eric and the rest of the cappers there. Always trendybets.com. Make sure you head over there. The NBA play of the day as well as their college packages, guys. Take advantage of what they are doing, putting in the work and getting results for their clients. Also, hope you'll join us once again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. on the East Coast. Brand new morning show heard around the country. It is Make It Rain, hosted by yours truly, my partner over there, Dane Martinez, as well as our producer, Bones, back in New York City, running it all. It's the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. I can't say there's so many great things happening there. Big announcement came down today that we're going to be partnering with Elvis Duran and his company, and we are really going to kick this up a notch. So sports gambling, sports betting, the information, fantasy, it's coming to a top 40 station near you at some point in the game. But in the meantime, do yourself a favor, download the Fantasy Sports Radio app, and make sure that you guys are following us 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We are here. Hope you'll enjoy us as we get your morning started off right. Maybe it'll be the most profitable thing you do all day. You'll hear from a lot of the same cappers that we have on this show. You'll be able to hear them in the morning. I'm going to wake their asses up very, very early so you can hear from them. If I've got to be up for 175 hours straight, their asses are going to be up for 175 hours straight. But it's a lot of fun. And download the app. It starts with that, the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. Download the app and take us with you each and every day. Also, iHeartRadio, tune in, probably on a cable company near you, if not a local radio station in your market. We are around the country 24/7 delivering not only sports headlines but fantasy advice as well as sports betting advice. So I hope you guys will join us and follow us here and make it rain this week and make it rain this weekend. We hope to do that. Joe D'Amico tomorrow on the show, the legend himself. He'll be joining us live from Las Vegas. So on behalf of Eric and betteriq.com, trendybets.com, our good friends at uwager.eu, make sure that you guys are hooking it up, all right? Get yourself line shopping. It starts by having multiple sports books you trust. uwager.eu, 1-800-UWAGER. Give them the code JRS50 and get yourself a 50% sign-up bonus. Also want to thank MiamiAcura.com for all they do. iTicketHub.com, the cheapest and best, most reliable secondary market ticket hold. Don't ever go to StubHub. Don't go to Vivid. You guys are out of your mind paying those prices. At least 10 to 15% cheaper than all the other secondary markets. iTicketHub.com. Check those guys out. Good Greek Moving and Storage. And who else did I miss? I think that's it. I probably forgot somebody, but I've been up for 175 hours straight, so we'll figure it out there. But enjoy the night. Good luck. If you missed any of these interviews and or any of the videos here all week long, you know they're always housed YouTube, the Joe Raineri Show, also on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. You guys can get them. They'll be available as soon as we're done here. Especially check out Eric. Get to know Eric from betteriq.com. Great stuff he delivered today. Some great betting advice, and one of his biggest plays of the years tonight in college hoops. He gave it to you guys. So I hope you'll heed his advice, and we'll all cash a few tickets tonight, make it a little more profitable, make it rain, and we'll come back tomorrow at 4 o'clock and do it all over again. So on behalf of all those guys, thanks for making us a part of your day. Come back and join us tomorrow. Hopefully I'll see many of you in the morning for another edition of Make It Rain on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. Good luck, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for being here.